This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. Hello everybody, it's Cape Rugby TV time when we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Big thanks to our partners on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV, Direct Access, your financial services partner, Score Energy Drinks, of course, partner to Western Province Club Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens, Thorburn Event Security, also on board here with Cape Rugby TV. Folks, tonight we will be catching up with a number of coaches, friends, administrators of Western Province Club Rugby and the clubs out there as we try and remain connected and keep the players and the coaches and the clubs connected and as active as possible. And so we are reaching out and broadcasting under rather difficult circumstances, but nevertheless still trying to make sure that our club rugby space stays active. We've got a lot of folks on the show tonight. We'll catch up with Labib Levy, of course, skills coach at the DHL Stormers. We'll speak to Rifat Jappi. He's the strength and conditioning coach at the DHL Stormers. We'll speak to Jerome Parvater from Western Province Rugby, Morgan Newman from Hamilton's Rugby, as well as, of course, presenter here on Cape Rugby TV on a regular basis. Morgan Newman joins us as well. We'll speak to Leshwin Barron from Paarl Rangers, and then we'll catch up with Ridwan Hassim, is the chairperson at Strand United. And of course, we hope to cross to Mzukisi Gwadushe, is of course a chairman of a Langa Rugby Club. So a whole lot of interviews coming up on the show this evening. But to get the ball rolling, we first speak to Erwil Adonis. He is of course a captain at Rocklands. Erwil, hoe lyk dinge daar aan jou kant?
Ag wat, onder die omstandighede druk ons maar deur. So 'n bietjie moeilik binne in die huis en frustrerend. Maar ons hou maar uit en hoop vir die beste dat die hele pandemie en alles binnekort oorwys wat ons kan terugkeer na ons normale lewens en dan natuurlik 'n bietjie aktief kan wees en 'n bietjie rugby kan beoefen.
Ja. Sê my, as julle as 'n span Rocklands, praat julle met mekaar? Is julle in touch? Wat doen die spelers op die oomblik? Dis natuurlik moeilik nou.
Ja, nie veel nie. Ons het natuurlijk ons official club page waar WhatsApp page waar ons maar communiceren en mekaar info en op hoogte hou met die hele virus updates oor die corona en dan ook natuurlijk 'n paar clubs ook saam met mekaar te deel. En dan het ons 'n players groep waar ons maar bietjie jokes maak en elke dag saam mekaar gesels en groet en dit net om in kontak met mekaar te bly.
In die begin was dit nogal moeilik. Almal het soort of come to grips with how it's going to work. Wie praat met wie? Gaan ons terug na die game toe? Gaan ons nie terug nie? Dit lyk my hierdie ding begin nou min of meer te stabilize. Ons weet waar ons moet wees. Ons moet in isolation bly. Ons weet wat ons nou by die huis kan en nie kan doen nie. Die ouens het nou seker by nou al uitgewerk wat tipe exercises hulle kan doen, hoe hulle WhatsApp groups werk. Dis nogal 'n shift van waar ons 5 weke gelede was.
Ja, natuurlijk. Ik heb een paar clips neergestuurd van een paar mannen wat gevoel het om clips te maken, videoclips te maken. Met een paar home exercises en de mannen doen maar wat ze kan achter de scherms, net om een beetje om hulle fixed en hulle conditionering te behouden. So wanneer die tijd komt en ons kan terugkeren, laat hulle daarom ten minste in shippers en vir wat voorlê. Nie baie van die manne is lief vir die camera nie. Ek myself het ook geen video's om maak. Die ouens is besig waarvan ek weet die klein bietjie goeie nuus met die tydbeperkings in die oggend het baie manne ook aan die hand gevat en dan vat daarom die pad om 'n drafstapie of 2 in te kry.
Ons het 'n paar video's hierso toe ingekry van jouself en van die spelers by Rocklands. Kom ons profile gou die spelers.
Die videoclip is Tristan Klaasen. Ou vriend, ek ken hom redelik lank en hy is maar die man op die skip wat die grapjas om het so te noem. Hierdie is Charlie Benjamin. Hy is redelik 'n nuwe mannetjie, is sy toere jaar nou by die klub en snaaks genoeg hy het nog op laerskool rugby gespeel. Ek weet nie presies hoeveel jaar terug en verlede jaar het hy daar aangekom by die klub. Hierso met die buswetter is ja, Jappie. Een van ons kragmanne daar so op Asserman. Soos julle kan sien, daar is hy skrikkie vir die weitsie. So daar het ons vir Daniel Matanda, aka Euskara, een van ons voormanne. Hy sak natuurlik langs aan my op die vaskopstep. Regte kragman en regte eyster op en vanaf die veld af.
Ek moet sê, wel is daar een ding is wat vir my nog altyd uitgestaan het by Rocklands in die tye wat ons daar was dit die Rocklands fans. Ons was al 'n paar keer daarso wat die fans op die bult staan en hulle sing en hulle geniet dit. Hierdie lockdown is nie net moeilik vir die spelers nie, dis ook moeilik vir die fans, né?
Presies, allemaal die loyale fans waarvan jy nou praat, is nog steeds mense wat agter ons staan. Never mind die omstandighede in die klub en dit was een van ons grootste bespreekpunte op ons bosberaad om weer die liefde en die verbandskap tussen onsself en ons fans en die brede weer op te bou. Ja, dus weer hande kan vat en met dit was die idee waar die soepkitchen ingekom het en nog baie meer ander dinge wat ons beplan het.
Voordat jy vir ons meer vertel, kom ons kyk gou na die video wat jy vir ons gestuur het van die swopkombuis en dan vertel ons 'n bietjie daarvan. Kom ons gou wys gou vir die fans waarvan jy praat. Daar is natuurlijk die foto's wat jullie nou ingestuur het. Ons het dit bietjie daar so saamgesmeld om 'n bietjie van 'n music video vir dit te maak, maar dan daar so baie pictures. Vertel ons bietjie van die swopkombuis.
Ja, Typie, dit was net een van die aspekte wat ons op lys gehad het op die bosberaad, hoe 'n bietjie meer betrokke te raak in die breë gemeenskap as in Mitchells-Plain, nie net Rocklands self nie. Baie van die foto's wat jy daar sien is in tafelsig en dat was maar wat ons besluit het aan ons almal ken die behoeftes en die omstandighede hier in ons gemeenskappe en om die beste daarvan uit te kry was maar uitkombuis.
Well, julle doen 'n fantastic job. Hopelijk is die mense wat nou die TV show luister, hopelijk weet hulle wat julle doen en miskien kan hulle ook bietjie help. So luister, ons sê van ons kant af, nee, baie dankie en welgedaan en dis ouens soos julle en die spelers wat die lewe klein bietjie makliker maak vir mense op die oomblik onder baie moeilike omstandighede. So nee, baie dankie vir julle help en vir die spelers en so voort.
Ja, waardeer dit man, dis maar die minste wat ons kan doen.
Folks, of course, Owen Adonis there, captain at Rocklands. And this is, again, just goes to show what our club rugby structures can do. Owen and his players helping the community there, taking money out of their own pockets, coming up with creative ways to keep serving. And the interesting thing is that they had planned all of this before the lockdown. They had no idea the lockdown was coming. And they decided they're not going to stop their activity plan. They're going to find a different way to do it, and they've managed to keep doing it. So my hats go off to Irwell and the guys at Rocklands. And anybody at Rocklands, if you're watching right now, anyone around the country, around the world, if you're watching right now, do us a favor. Send a thumbs up and a shout-out message on our WhatsApp line to the moms and the dads and the fans of Rocklands. And we'll put that video together and we'll send it to the players of Rocklands, to the administrators of Rocklands and the fans of Rocklands. We'll send it to them so that they can see that you actually also appreciate what it is that they're doing. Back in a sec. Right, folks, welcome back. We're, of course, still busy with Cape Rugby TV. We continue to reach out to our friends, fans, administrators, coaches, players of Club Rugby in Western Province. It is difficult times. Of course, it's lockdown, and we know that we have to stay isolated. Only travel for essential services if permitted. You have to remember to wash your hands. You have to remember to keep a distance. You have to practice that social distance. You have to remember to wear your mask. These are the difficult conditions we're under. But we are still speaking to our friends. And the chairman of Strand United, Ridwan Hassim, is on the line with us now. Ridwan, how are things on your side?
Hi, evening, JP. Look, I suppose it's like with everybody else. It's unprecedented times. It's a first for all of us, and not really sure what to make of it.
Yeah, it's obviously been difficult. I mean, we're trying to patch together the conversation. We've had conversations with, obviously, the Western Province rugby guys, some of the coaches, Jerome Parvati, Labib, and Faisal Felton, and so on. So we get an idea of what's happening, and we've piece by piece been speaking to coaches and captains, and it's almost as if everybody's had to reevaluate for themselves their own activity. Yourselves included, I imagine.
Yeah, look, we had to reinvent the wheel a bit. You know, it's difficult just keeping the guys on track and on target and motivated, given that there's no physical contact. You know, thank you for the social media platforms that allows us at least to get through to the guys, to keep contact with them and so forth. You know.
Is it a question of, if we look at club rugby and we understand why clubs are in place, I mean, clubs is essentially there to serve the community and to help the community and to reach out to the youth structures and the friends and family, and it's club rugby in its own has been going on for decades. Do you think it's a question for clubs that maybe when the lockdown came about that there's a fear that they're going to lose actually their ability to not operate in terms of the rugby playing, but operate in terms of that communal outreach?
JP, well, it depends. I must say for us in Strand, and you'll know, there's a couple of clubs here. There's a strong sense of community, you know, and even for us in Strand United as well. I chat to the coaches and the coaching team has got their own structure going and ensuring that they get contact and keep contact with the guys. Our executive committee, we had a WhatsApp call meeting just to ensure that we stay in touch with each other. And use this opportunity also just to get to those stuff or focus on those programs and stuff that we've anticipated maybe would like to do. And here's now an opportunity for us to discuss it without just the normal getting the practices going, getting the rugby going and so forth, but more strategic thinking.
Is it how have you found it in terms of the club itself, the structures amongst the players? On the rugby field, we know you've got the captain, you've got a vice captain, you've got a team manager, but now there's activities off the rugby field where we see players and different individuals popping out with their own sense of sort of leadership.
No, and it's true, especially from not just, I mean, some of the videos that you've seen, and some of our younger guys that's really been active. And sometimes with the older guys, the will is there, but just to get them going. And if you look at the younger guys, the under 20 guys that's now suddenly doing this and posting, I think the older guys think, you know what, maybe my spot might be in trouble. I also need to put shoulder to the grinding skills.
Do you think we're going to get to the point where the team is being selected not on who can play the most tries, but who has the most views on Facebook?
I hope we don't get to that point where who gets the most views on Facebook. I mean, can you imagine that? But I know hopefully we won't get to that point, because then some of my guys on the Exco might also do that, and then they might end up also wanting to play again. So
Have you guys got on your side any now that you've understood the last 5 weeks and you've understood the different dynamics and the new challenges, have you got any plans now? Not talking now about getting on the field rugby plans, because there we know we have to wait for the official announcements. But have you got any plans amongst your guys, small things, anything that is on the cards for you guys, or that you may be considering?
Well, JP, I think the main focus of the coach is sending programs out to the individual players, and to get them started again in terms of that, like I said, nutritional values, looking at some strategical changes and stuff in that regard. Definitely, things happening there on the floor.
Have you guys got a Facebook page?
Yes, we do. We've got a Facebook page. It's quite active, and I must say, I have to mention this, that the 4 clubs in the Strand, Strand Pioneers, we've got St. George's, and we've got Strand Club, and there's almost this collective at the moment. We're on each club's Facebook page. There's always this message regarding the coronavirus with the badges of all 4 clubs on, which also just reflects our unified approach in informing our people, informing our community, and creating this awareness as a unified club. But quite active on our Facebook page as well, and Instagram as well.
I think that whole Helderberg Basin is almost a hub of its own. If we look at just how active you guys are, and if we read the District Mail, you can see what's going on there. Always activity, and very competitive. If we look at that, and if we think of Silurians and All Saints and Strand Pioneers, and you guys seem to be very innovative. You're like, it's like you're hungry to re-engineer things. It's looking great from the outside. We've seen some incredible stuff. The derbies that you guys have is also, I mean, and not to mention the fact that you take that area and you're on the border with Macassar and Eerste Rivier and Wraithby. everything is almost a derby.
No, for sure, and it's good, and I think that's why we have this. And I must say, there's been some good players coming out, but because it's that competitive nature that's there, and that rivalry on the field. But I mean, off the field, everybody's friends and so forth. But we're fortunate that we have these strong clubs from Macassar, even All Saints, and ourselves amongst here. Irrespective in which league you play, but on the day, whether you play A, C, B league, or even in the zones, on the day when it's derby time, then the playing field is level, and it's hectic, No, and that's the beauty about the Helderberg area. So
yeah. No, the Red One, we're going to leave it at that. I want to say thanks to you for joining us on the show. It's been great chatting with you. It is difficult for us at the moment to just keep everybody engaged, and we're finding also that our method of TV is different. We have to change, and we're turning more things into more conversations, and hopefully our viewers enjoy it as well. So I want to say thanks to you for joining us.
Thank you, JP, from our side as well. Thank you for also still creating this platform, and keep on going, especially in this trying times where our people is hungry to know what's happening, what is the future going to be of the scene, and so forth. So thank you for you guys as well for sticking through and pushing on through.
There we go, folks. Ridwan Hassim is, of course, the chairman of Strand United. And, well, if you didn't know before of the derbies that take place there, you can go back to some of the YouTube videos and go and take a look. In fact, we've got most of them on Cape Rugby TV. Go and have a look at the derbies that happened between Strand and Strand Pioneers and Strand United and All Saints and Gastro, and St. George's and Helderberg. There really is some fantastic activity in the Helderberg area. Don't forget, wash your hands, stay isolated, at least so we can remind you again after the break. Back in a sec. Well, welcome back, folks. As you know, we carry on reaching out to you, and we try and talk as much as we can about rugby, and of course, rugby in Western Province. It is difficult, and so to do that, we reach out to our friends, families, the experts, the administrators, and we just try and stay in touch. And one of the old friends of Cape Rugby TV and Club Rugby, and now, of course, conditioning coach at the DHL Stormers, is Rifat Jappi. Rifat, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Thank you, JP. Thanks for having me.
Rifat, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. Different circumstances for you. Normally you're on the field with a whistle and in your shorts. I'm sure you're wearing shorts at the moment, but how are you coping?
No, I'm coping well, JP. It's obviously challenging times for everyone, just not for me. But we're finding our way through the process and just progressing how things go along and adapting and be flexible in our planning.
Yeah, we've been watching your progress from the outside. I mean, you know, one can follow the Stormers via the Stormers TV and the news, and you guys seem quite active.
Yeah, JP, since the first week of lockdown, we've been trying to keep the guys busy and interested, because the more time we're keeping them busy, the less time they have thinking. The less time they will have thinking about the situation we're in. So we've been keeping them busy, like they're doing like almost like 16 sessions for the week, and with a challenge every second day. So that's doing fitness challenges, skills challenges, coaches giving them tasks. So the guys are quite busy. We're trying to take their attention away from the whole situation and keeping them engaged in the whole process.
Since the lockdown, one of the very first things that people started saying was, okay, well, we've got to train at home. High performance guys, amateur guys, moms and dads, juniors, been doing Zoom conference training and Facebook training. The whole fitness thing seems to be one of the big priorities, not only for athletes like you've got at the Stormers, but everybody's doing it.
Yeah, Jeff, it's important for anyone's lifestyle just to get the heart rate up. And if you're gonna sit for 2 months in your house and don't get active, and then your health might fall behind. So especially for our high performance athletes that is used to training that hard daily, and not doing it for a week or 2 weeks, for them it will be more detrimental. So it is very important for anyone being at home, or for the high performance athletes in that matter.
So that brings me to my conversation with you. For an administrator, they can talk administration, and administration is administration. But the dynamics for your job, you being a strength and conditioning coach, where you've got all sorts of different tools available, especially in the high performance space, and you've got laboratories and fields and facilities, you must have the most challenging job out of all.
Yes, yes, JP, exactly. Like it was new territory for me. I needed to adapt as quickly as possible. We moved in. I thought initially it'll only be 3 weeks. I can maybe just plan the 3 weeks. This is how it's going to be. And then as soon as the extension came in, I brought my thinking, and I saw even our guys coming up with new ideas and telling me that I have this at home. Can I use this? Can I use that? And it also opened up my mind, and I had to think out of the box. So this will work, that can work. And guys coming with, can I use this brick? Can I use this tire? Or I only have this amount of space. Can I do that? And then we had to just adapt and what the guys are having at home. So we had to make use of what everyone has, because everyone's space availability was different. The equipment they have at home is different. So you need to individualize the programs even more. So yeah.
So is it a question now of like the functional training stuff is becoming more important?
Yeah, very much so. The whole thing is just to circuit training, get the heart rate up. But for our guys that is playing rugby, we try to get away from just moving in that medium circuit training. So the things that we ask the guys to do is still have intent, move fast during that movement. So when they come back, they're used to still moving fast, and exactly just to come away from that average movement and just getting through training. So there's some key points, even if you're doing a body weight, the tempo of the reps, like push explosively off the ground or whatever. If it's a down up, something just related to the game as well still.
Well, you've certainly got your work cut out for you, and hopefully this thing ends as soon as
Yeah.
possible, so that you can get face to face with your players again. I got to ask you though. I mean, you are through and through a club rugby person. You know, that's how we know you. That's where we come from back originally. Are you in touch with the guys at Collegians?
Yes, I've chatted with a few of them. They also got programs from the clubs to do personally, and most of the programs are all the same: body weight, circuit training, run a bit if you can go outside. It's been tough especially for the club guys, especially because to get into that routine. I think that for the high performance guys, it's easier because they're used to being in the routine, waking up, training. I think for a club guy, going to work, training in the evening, it's something different now. Now he wakes up. What does he do? He comes this evening. Don't have list to train, so it's hard. So it's just structure a new day for him, and I think it's tough for the club guys. So my message for them is will just be to stay motivated, try to get a structure in your day, and keep on training.
We know that you've got a busy schedule, so we're not going to keep you long. But for yourself, you're also not shy to put on the boots. And every time that we see that there's a club game and they need an extra centre, Rifani's on the park. Have you been able to stay active yourself? You guys are so busy with all these conference calls and interaction with SA Rugby. How are things with you personally?
Yes, JP. I myself, the first 15 days, I took on a bodyweight challenge. It's like a beat the virus challenge. So it's the reps goes up until 1,000 on day 15. So I started well the first 15 days, and I'm still keeping fit. Well, if I have to send videos for guys, so I need to do the thing myself first, and then send it through the players to do, and then beat my time or what's your time. And so I'm still keeping quite active now. And now that the restrictions is open to run, so I can start to run again now. So it's like
Now listen, we're so glad to be talking to you. You seem like you're in good spirits. And you know, from our side, we obviously send our wishes, and we hope that you guys stay safe, stay isolated, and we follow your progress all the time, and we're very proud of watching you guys. So from our side, thanks for joining us, and we wish our best.
Thanks, JP. Thanks for having me, and stay safe as well, everyone. Thanks.
Right, folks. Rifat Jappi there. What a pleasure chatting with Rifat. He's now in that difficult space where he has to deal with so many athletes on a one-on-one basis via, well, I suppose they're doing it via Zoom as well, but in making sure that each individual player is looked after. A lot of work to be done there. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll speak to Jerome Parvater, Morgan Newen, and so a few more coming up. So don't go away. Back in a sec. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. We keep trying to keep you engaged, and we keep talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Joining us now remotely, as our guests have been doing under these difficult conditions, is Jerome Parvater. Jerome, hoe lyk dinge daar by jou?
JP, het gaan aan. Ons is maar besig onder omstandighede, maar ja, ons gaan aan, ons koop. Ons het nou verlede week het ons 'n vergadering gehad rondom spelers, beseerde spelers wat die soort van langtermyn beserings om terug te gaan na die HPC toe, dat hulle die fysio's kan sien. So ja, dis 'n klein bietjie positief, so die manne kan weer gaan wat beseer is, maar hulle word ook definitief, dis een persoon per tyd, en die manne word maar gemonitor, soos byvoorbeeld jy moet maar buite in jou kar wag voor die ander ou uitgaan, en om al die soort van measures wat in plek moet gesit word, het die fysio's in plek. So ja, jy moet maar wag tot jy jou WhatsApp kry voor jy kan inkom, en die aanhou heeltemal uit, dan word weer skoon gemaak. Soos is 'n hele operasie, JP, om die ding aan die gang te hou.
So dit klink maar julle het nogal baie soort van COVID training gedoen.
Ja, ons het almal het deur die protokol gegaan. SA Rugby, World Rugby het 'n protokol gestuur. en dan het Dr. Soete soort van ons eie protokol vir WP Rugby bymekaar gesit wat ons verlede week oor gepraat het en wie daar mag kom en wie nie mag daar wees nie. Soos byvoorbeeld die coaches is glad nie by die HPC nie. Dis net die mediese mense wat daar is om te begin
Ja.
om ja.
Is daar 'n bietjie advies wat van 'n international vlak af kom oor hierdie goed? Ons weet daar's die World Health Organization en die Wêreld Rugby Body en daai filter dit af na julle toe en daar's guidelines want daar moet seker baie ander lande wees met dieselfde probleem of daar is ander lande met dieselfde probleem.
Ja, dis definitief JP, so dis hoekom ons nou die HPC soort van is nou ook vir, soos ek sê, vir beseerde spelers, maar dis net essential beseerde spelers, die ouens met die long term injuries. En dit is in plek gesit van die guidelines van met die gesondheidsdienste van Suid-Afrika en die guidelines van World Rugby, SA Rugby. Dr. Soete het bymekaar gesit in terme van hoeveel mense jy kan sien, wat moet gedoen word. Die plek moet skoon gemaak word sodra pasiënt uit is. Dit is maar soort van soos 'n hospitaal op hulle dieselfde. En daar's ook nie baie mense nie, so om die ding te monitor. As daar iets gebeur, obviously moet die HPC dan weer toegemaak word vir 2 weke. So alles dit is in plek.
Jerome, if we look at what you are busy with at the Stormers side of things nou, daai dinge, die Stormers, die WP ouens en die dinge waaroor julle gesels, is daar enige advies wat jy vir die klub ouetjies kan gee by die huis nou, hoe hulle kan oefen?
Yeah, JP, that's basically the same that we advise the provincial guys is to keep safe, keep the following distance, keep within the sort of the perimeters of what the government say, what you're allowed to do. So stay in your neighborhood. So if you want to run, you can run within the 5 kilometers radius, but close to your house. So we prefer like guys running the street, do a bronco, do shuttles in the street. Yeah. And you can almost run a 1.5 in your street if you manage it properly. Just get out a bit, run around your house, do your normal stuff, but just keep safe, keep your distance from each other. Sometimes guys are too close to each other. So that's that's basically the advice we gave to our players also.
Jerome, we know that you've got a busy day, so we'll hopefully catch up with you again next week. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, JP, you guys keep safe and see you next week.
Right, folks, there we go. Jerome Parvat to Western Province Rugby. They're staying busy, obviously in touch with senior players, their Super Sport Challenge players, or as we know them, the Western Province Rugby 15. So they got their hands full at the moment. We'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Labib Levy in a second. So don't go away. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks. On the line with me now, Labib Levy, also DHL Stormers. Labib, you seem comfortable in your space there.
Yeah, I'm sitting like here, JP, on the couch, trying to sit straight, looking all professional, but no, I'm very comfortable in the space. How are you doing? All right?
We're hammering along. We keep doing the best we can. Keep trying to keep everybody connected. I think it's very important for the social happiness factor, if you want to call it that. People are missing club rugby. Everybody really is saying that they wish they were on the park.
Yeah, everyone you speak to, they like desperate to get out there, and just I think that what they miss is not only the rugby, the social aspect of with their mates and with their coaches and their administrators. So hopefully in the future there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But I know exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah, Labib, I've got to ask you, you're looking much more like either one of two things today. You're either looking like a DJ who's spinning on the decks, or maybe even a
call center agent.
Call center agent could be it, or a gamer. Maybe you're good at gaming, but you seem to have got yourself comfortable now with this whole broadcast concept.
Yes, a mate actually gave this to me. I didn't realize I'm actually addicted to it. It's like it takes out the noise of the people around you as well. You're on YouTube, you're in your own zone, but Yeah, I think call center agent. Hi, good day, JP. This is JP, Cape Rugby TV. How may I help you?
Yes.
Huh?
100%. I like that. Labib, tell us a little bit about your week, how it's been for the last few days. We know that from a skills point of view, we've seen you guys doing all these videos and you're sharing it amongst each other.
Yeah, actually, from a Stormers perspective, we've actually reevaluated our program in terms of when we started with lockdown with the conditioning, the skill stuff, the all the coaches sending players information and the projects which you and the listeners have heard about. So we've actually gone into like a you know that Christmas period. We've actually given players off whole of last week, whole of this week. They must still do their conditioning, but they don't have to report in as vigorously as in the first 6 weeks. We were
Yeah.
like giving them off with the intention, hopefully, that when we get we're having a coaches meeting on Sunday, and then players will probably start programming again next week, where we're going to be a bit more on their case. So it's like we're giving them a Christmas break, hard 6 weeks, giving them off just to rejuvenate the mind more
Yeah.
than the body.
Yeah.
Spend genuine me time.
Yeah.
The first 6 weeks they had me time, but also listen. You must send in your conditioning stats. You must do your full on conditioning. You must take videos. You must do these challenges. You must
Yeah. Yeah.
bake a cake. We had bake the cake competition among the players. You must be in a meeting tomorrow with the coaches, leadership meeting. Players have their own meeting, etc. So we said, listen, let's just take a step back, and there is obviously the player welfare, the mental thing, because it's all the time that they're getting information, which is nice to keep them busy. But we thought, listen, let's just back off a bit. Not back off, but let's give the guys just
A little bit
some
of
time
space.
to
A little bit of space.
a little bit of space. Yeah.
So, are you, from a skills point of view, are you concerned about players losing the edge, so to speak? I mean, we know that with you guys, it's all about hand-eye coordination and body movement and body placement, and that you, to have those skills, you've got to like do it quite a lot. You've got to stay polished. Are you worried about the skills maybe dropping a little bit, or is it something that comes back quite quickly?
I think I've got a philosophy. If you passed well last week, that doesn't mean you're going to pass well this week. You have to keep it ongoing. I mean, you're in the federation. I mean, I think you've got a dart federation. If he doesn't practice darts, if he's not shooting
Yeah.
pool all the time, if he's not doing table tennis, if he's not practicing, he lose a bit of sharpness. But I think we can get the guys back at that level if we just because the nice thing that they'll be so hungry just to be around each other
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're going to put in the effort.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's too much, then you must push them and press certain buttons to get them motivated to
Yeah.
do what they're
Yeah.
meant to be doing. But I'm sure when we get back, they'll be happy just to get out and let's do stuff. The hand-eye coordination stuff, yes. I'm actually keen to get back because I've done a little bit of research on what they're doing in handball in Europe, and also ice hockey in Canada.
Canada.
In Canada, USA, and
Yes.
but
Yes.
specifically focusing on the goalkeeping, because their hand coordination is hand eye coordination is a different level, just based on the
Speed of
fact
the
of the
puck.
speed of the puck.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
so what they do is next level. So I need to probably purchase some of the equipment that they're using, but also see how I can change what they are doing, and bring a rugby aspect into it, and
Yeah.
obviously get them more dynamic. But
That's interesting that you mentioned that. But so, do you think that we're going to start seeing, consider the dynamics of COVID? Do you think that we're going to start seeing maybe some more, call it home-based hand-eye coordination equipment?
yeah, I think if you look at the a ball for to do hand-eye coordination, you don't just need a rugby ball. You can use a tennis ball, you can use a bouncy ball, you can use a soccer ball, you can use a Coke bottle if you want. So you're not bound by equipment. but obviously balls makes. I mean, balls are balls. You can throw it against the wall. You know more or less what's happening. So that type of thing is happening. If I mean, one of the tasks we gave the players, we have what we call Biba says, which we do at work, but we added task. Biba says, throw the ball in the air, throw the ball behind your back. So we gave them a task, and what the players did was, I'll send you some of the videos. What they did was absolutely amazing. What they came up with. We've got Matt Boy, he stood on a like a tightrope. You know, he created a tightrope with a thing that you tow the cars with, and he was standing with one leg on it, balancing and catching and passing.
So a lot of
Dan
creative thinking here at the moment.
Yes. So I mean, stuff that you won't even think of. I promise you, it's like putting balls behind the head, throwing it, catching it, which is nice. But I think if even for our rugby players out there, just having the ball in your hand, playing around with it, fiddling with it, just get the fingers used to the ball. It helps.
One of those
I'm
old
lucky
things,
at home.
stand in front of a wall and just throw the ball against the wall. It is a rugby ball. It bounces in all different directions.
Yeah, but even just sitting here, watching TV, being on your Zoom calls, surfing the net, playing around, fiddling, that all helps, man. I mean, just even if I'm pausing here by you, I can get 50, 100 passes to myself. It's just little thing that keep you sharp.
Labib, we're going to leave it at that. We know that you guys have to stay quite busy. I know that you guys are busy with your management meetings, and you've got to keep everything coordinated between you and the medical team and the physio team and the skills team. So we're going to say from our side, we're going to say, stay safe, and hopefully we'll catch up with you guys soon, and we hope for some positive announcements.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We must stay safe. We can't take anything for granted. I know the smokers are struggling, and the guys who drink a bit, but just hang in there, guys, and just do a little bit of training, walking around, just do something. And good luck, JP.
Thanks, Labib. Right, folks, Labib Levy there, of course, skills coach at the DHL Stormers. They've got their hands full, but interesting to see all the different creative ways that they're coming up with. We'll take an ad break. Don't go away. We talk more about what's happening with rugby in Western Province in a sec.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access, your financial services partner, and Score Energy Drinks.
Well, welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We've spoken to a number of folks at Western Province Rugby, of course, during the course of the show. And no stranger to Cape Rugby TV, regular panel member with us here on the show, Morgan Newman. We're missing him in studio. We need to get back in studio. Morgs, you look like you're in one piece.
Yeah, James, I am. Thank you. I'm in one piece. My beard shows that I'm in lockdown. Clearly, not going out of the house at all. But yeah, look, I mean, it is what it is. Just trying to stay active, stay as positive as possible, and hopefully we'll get through this. Well, I know we will get through this. It's just a matter as to when we'll get through this and when we can see some rugby on our screens again. Surely that's the end goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that is where we want to get to, is play rugby. But it's been fascinating to see just how the clubs themselves have started doing, call it non-field activity, and almost bonding amongst each other as players and reaching out.
Yeah, well, you know what, this time has really taught us to be creative, and I think that's quite nice. I really want to see that post COVID-19. I'd love to still see us be as creative in staying in touch, staying connected with our teammates and our peers, and really using this platform that we've been given. The internet is a powerful platform, and let's really use it to its best ability. But yeah, it is difficult times, but we've tried to stay as connected to our team and as our players as possible.
Yeah, it seems like that was a lot of the theme in the show today so far, is that clubs are becoming clubs again. They're helping each other. They're speaking to their fans more. They're speaking to their players more. I mean, you've been playing rugby all your life, and you've been involved in sport all your life, and you understand the feeling of sport. And in every team that you've been in, you would imagine that there's been this strong sense of brotherhood. Are you picking that up on your side?
Yeah, well, I mean, James, I think if there's one thing I learned from you, it's probably that what is the club there really to do? And the club is there to serve the community, and serve the people that are members and so forth. And that's the one thing that we've taken out of this, is that the club is, Hamilton's Rugby Club is now there to serve the people. And even though they can't come down to the facility itself, what are we doing to still keep connected with them? What are we doing to still be able to communicate with them? We've tried in the past, and obviously we haven't put as much emphasis as we should, but now we're being forced to do so. And probably in the long term rewards we will reap at a later stage.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing so far is absolutely fantastic. And not only are we seeing that coaches are connecting every day with their players in terms of fitness and so on, but we're also seeing quite a lot of outreach projects. That's been interesting to see just how much the clubs are kind of galvanizing so that they can do various support projects in the neighborhood. So that's been fascinating. And then the other side is how many of the clubs have now started embracing the digital space, Facebook pages and websites and photographs and so on.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're doing an hour-long show and you didn't have a single person in studio. You haven't visited a single club, and you're still able to reach the people. And that, for me, has just shown us the power, of the internet, and we need to use it. And yeah, look, we haven't done too much. I must be brutally honest. We've just let people settle down, try and come to grips with this pandemic and how they're best to stay home and sort of stay safe, most importantly. Yeah. But as we stay longer in lockdown, if you want to call it that, I would like to see us get a bit more proactive and really, try and sort of go out there and do some form of, not go out there necessarily, but do some form of maybe fundraise or support for those less fortunate and those that are in slightly tougher times than we're currently experiencing.
At Hamilton's, you say that you guys are engaging quite a bit with the players, with the fans, the members, so to speak. Is that something that you guys are looking to build on?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've always had our new monthly newsletter or weekly newsletter that's gone out. And we've had our, which is obviously the most easiest email that needs to be sent. So that's still currently, ongoing. But I'd like to see us start to do a little bit more now. There are lots of players that, may need support, not even financially, just support from let them know that we're still here. We haven't gone anywhere. Yeah. So that's all going to start to roll out now. Guys have done 1 or 2 Zoom sessions where they've been training together and so forth. Whether rugby will happen again this year remains to be seen. But irrespective of that, just the aspect of encouraging guys to stay fit, irrespective of whether you're going to play rugby or not, From a health point of view, fitness is important. And if we can continue to promote that and continue to have guys buy into the culture of just being healthy naturally, doesn't matter whether you have a rugby match on a Saturday, just be healthy and be fit and know that you're able to play when this is over is in itself a sort of something that we need to push. So we'll be doing that, and we'll start to kick it off probably as of next week or so forth. But the real thing is we want to see rugby back on our screens. We want to start playing rugby again, and hopefully we can do that soon.
Morgs, now that we're at a level 4, it looks like more folks have started going back to work, or at least for the essential services side of things. Does that change how you guys have been operating, considering how things were in the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, look, it doesn't change too much for us. We still only, guys we're still not allowed to train in groups, so we're still going onto the Zoom and still trying to encourage guys to train where they can together over a Zoom meeting or a Zoom chat or so forth. But it is difficult, it must be honest, Japes. I mean, guys do have programs that they received in preseason, and, we hit the season, so the preseason kind of stopped. But I'm sure a number of guys took 2 or 3 weeks off, which in essence was then another break, and because of that, they can start their preseason training programs again in the hope that when we do kick off, guys sort of have got some sort of a base to work from. But very difficult. It's really on the onus that really lies on the guys individually to take responsibility for their health and fitness and to keep themselves fit and healthy. And we do believe that there are a number of guys that are doing that, and those that are not, we're encouraging them to get started because when the season starts, we're not going to have long a preseason as we're used to having, and we need to hit the ground running.
Yeah. So we just spoke to Labib Levy, who's of course a skills coach at the Stormers, and we spoke to Rifat Jappi, who's the strength and conditioning coach. So there seems to be there is obviously a management team that has different dimensions of what it is that they deal with. You guys at Hamilton's, you from a coaching point of view, you obviously got other people in the team that have to think about the strength and conditioning on the one side. And you mentioned things like doing Zoom conferences of fitness, but are you guys also speaking to the guys from maybe another perspective, like nutrition or skills or anything in that shape?
Yeah, you know, James, it's what the one funny and really alarming factor for us was the amount of guys that own a rugby ball. And you know, you're a rugby player, you're a club rugby player, but not many own rugby ball. You don't have a ball. And that's the most important skill in rugby ball is possession of the ball. So that's one thing that we've tried to encourage and drive is, you know, really encouraging guys to get down, get a ball, start to own a rugby ball, throw the thing around, you know, whether it's just in your garden, you know, practice one or two little skills. You know, and there's always, you know, for those that are living alone, obviously there is a shadow ball, which is a great addition, you know, which allows you to pass against the wall on your own and practice that way. But if you don't have a shadow ball, just a normal rugby ball, you know, you have your mom or your dad at home, pass with them, kick with them at home. Doesn't have to be massive kicks, you know, striking of the ball. Timing is everything in rugby. And you don't have to kick hundreds of meters to become a good kicker, you know. It's just timing, it's dropping the ball on your foot and so forth. So we've been surprised by the amount of guys that don't own a rugby ball, and that's something we're going to try and drive and encourage. But again, you know, these things, the onus, and I have to emphasize this, the onus lies in the individual. If you want to do something at home, if you want to do some form of exercise, you can find a way to do it, you know. If you want to do some form of skills drills, you can find a way to do it.
It's fascinating, the little things that surprise us every day, things we always took for granted. All of a sudden we pop up with new realizations of where we, like I say, some things we took for granted. Like now you say some players, many people, in fact, you know, don't have a rugby ball. And I think there's going to be a few more learning curves like this.
100%. You know, I mean, as this whole thing unfolds, you know, the amount of people that have access to the internet is sometimes we find a problem, you know, out of a squad of whatever it is at Hamilton's, maybe 60 or 70 guys. Not everyone has access to the internet. And, you know, if we're going to become creative, we want to start doing video sessions potentially, you know, instead of having guys drive, you know, in Sea Point, we're quite far away from the guys that attend our training sessions. And why do guys have to drive all the way into Sea Point every Monday for a video session? Maybe we can find a way to do these video sessions over a online basis, you know, saving money, saving transport costs, keeping guys at home, but still being able to analyze opposition, still being able to analyze our own performances and so forth. So these are all things that will need to be implemented at some point. But you know, it's a learning curve and it's going to take baby steps. But one that has been a massive eye-opener for me, and one that I'm actually, funnily enough, grateful for. You know, I think we're learning now, being forced to learn, which is great.
Yeah. Morgs, we're going to leave it at that and say, obviously, to you, stay safe out there. And whoever's walking behind you there.
That was my mom. That was my mom's.
We wish them the very best.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to her.
I'm sure she'll be watching, one of our original fans that helped us actually get things started. So yeah, we're going to say all the best to you guys out there. Stay in touch with the players. We look forward to getting any information that you guys are busy with and sharing it with the public out there to tell them that Hamilton's remains active.
100%, Jeff. Thanks for having me. And yeah, let's chat again sometime soon. Just all the listeners, all the viewers. Yeah, stay safe. That's the most important. I mean, I couldn't stress that anymore. You know, if you're not an essential worker, stay home, stay safe, and we'll get through this. And soon, Rugby will be back on our screen. So thanks for having me, Jeff. Chat again soon.
Folks, we're going to end it there for us tonight. It's been a very challenging show. We continue to reach out to our friends and fans of Western Province Club Rugby, and we continue to spread the message of staying safe during this pandemic, the coronavirus. So we urge you out there to remember, please follow all the health and safety protocols. We will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.